What is up, guys? This is your girl, the Karmic DF from TikTok, back to you again with another video. And this is for my empaths, my highly sensitives. Everybody is feeling some intense energy lately, right? But this will still be like a timeless reading. So if you're seeing this and it's not in Aries season, that's totally okay. But from a collective standpoint, we are increasingly being forced to take a look at ourselves and being forced to see what serves us and what doesn't. And we're getting to this place collectively where we don't have a choice. We have to pick what's best for us. Otherwise, it's going to be incredibly uncomfortable just to be in your body, just to exist, because you are becoming more self-aware and you're now realizing what serves you and what doesn't serve you. So if you're an empath or highly sensitive person and you want to know what would make your life easier, how to better take care of yourself so that you don't feel so much energy or feel off kilter or be overwhelmed just by the world around us, then this is the video for you. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So though I believe this advice would be good for anyone, not just empaths, I believe that the seriousness of taking care of yourself as an empath, as a light worker, whatever you identify with, is imperative right now in this period of history, because we all decided to come down here to shake up the system, which means that a lot of us are not like everybody else, right? You probably feel like you're foreign, you probably feel like the black sheep, the scapegoat, so you feel like you're not really a part of things, but in reality, you're here to raise the vibration, you're here to shake shit up, is what I'm hearing actually. And so in order to do that, we have to feel good and solid within ourselves, because when we're empathic and we can feel energy in ways that other people can't, the world can tend to be a lot more intense for us than it is other people. We pick up on the collective consciousness. So let's say that something, and this is why I say do not watch the news if you're an empath. Number one, do not watch the news. Turn that crap off. You can get a simple Google when you're opening up to check the weather. Don't do it to yourself. But when we have that collective consciousness of fear, of worry, that is why the news is so problematic, because you feel it, you take that on. And as someone who came down here to do something to help raise us back into where we need to be, you're going to feel it more. You're going to get angrier. You're going to feel the collective vibration. I don't know if anybody noticed this, but when the Queen died, which no comment on my end, but when the Queen died, the energy shifted real bad, because a lot of people where she's from was in mourning because they liked her. So that is something that affects somebody who's highly empathic. We pick up on things that we don't know and we don't understand. So how do we get through that? How do we get past it? We have to take care of ourselves the way that we take care of others, because empaths are known for being the givers, right? We overdo it. And in reality, in a more psychological approach, the reason that we do that is more often because we didn't have that given to us. And so that's kind of the course of like parentification, when you had parents that couldn't be mature enough, and so you realized early on that you had to be someone to be there for them in order to get their love, and so that probably trickled into your relationships, and then you focus so much on everybody else, but what that's really telling you is little hints about the things that you want and need. You know, I was someone who always overgave words of affirmation, because in reality, I didn't have a lot of those. So when we overdo things, what we have a chance to see is what we actually need in order to feel good inside. So when you are giving advice to people that you care about, I want you to think about the advice you're giving. Do you take it? You likely believe it to be true, but do you take it? Because more often than not, we're really good at giving ourselves away to other people instead of pouring into ourselves, because we either find it selfish or we think it's too much work, yet we always have no problem overextending ourselves for other people. So if you're going to be uncomfortable regardless, then it's time to start pouring into yourself, because you also have to remember that this is a trickling effect. The world collectively is starting to go within. And the more people that go within, the more you don't have to worry about other people's crap, because in reality, it was never yours to begin with. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. It all comes down to you. And so in order to be an empath or a light worker, starseed, someone who's highly sensitive in this period in history, it is imperative that you take care of yourself as if it was your best friend, the love of your life, whoever it is that you care about the most, that's the way you need to pour into yourself, because your body is extra sensitive. And in order to deal with those things, we have to do a little bit extra to feel good inside. That requires, sorry guys, meditation, at least a protection meditation every morning, as well as midday to evening if you're feeling off, or just to release whatever it is that you've taken on during the day. Loud car, not a sign that, loud car, that's a sign telling you not to ignore what I'm saying. You have to take care of yourself. I believe in signs. So what we need to do is worship ourselves, right? Realize that this is a temple that we need to take care of. And in order to do that, we have to take it seriously, right? Because I think we already know to some degree, we finally admitted it to ourselves, that the food industry is not here to help us, right? They're not. Because if you think about it, the crappier the food, the cheaper it is, which goes to people that are starving, versus the healthier, organic, non-GMO, not super expensive, but more on the expensive side, and then people that struggle can't get that food. So we already see what they're doing. Like, I'm sorry, you got the conspiracy girl here, we're going to talk about it. But that's why this has been such a problematic time, because we've been taught that everything that is natural to us is woo-woo. And I'm being drawn in my head to a video I saw where let's just be frank, the white people came over to steal the land in America. Let's just be honest here. I think we can all admit that. They were against, I believe, the natives' culture, because if you think about their culture, they focus on their family's everything. They lived off the land. They didn't need people. They didn't need laws. They didn't need rules. You know what I'm saying? The system that we're in now is built for borderline slavery. You know, like, that's just my opinion, whatever. But when you are being taught young that you should know exactly what you want out of life at 18, you're setting yourself up for failure. So we got to work on that inner critic to begin with in order to function as an empath, because again, we're highly sensitive. So you need to deprogram everything that it is that we've been taught, because some people can do it. I mean, people that are meant to stay in the 3D can probably do it, but you can't, because you're sensitive, because you can feel things that other people can't. You are more open to things that other people can't sense because they are too here and they're not really awake yet. And that's okay. We all have different paths, right? But if we're not doing the work, then we're going to struggle more. How often, I think Robin Williams is a great example. I'm seeing his face in my head, where we're not okay. And so we pour into other people and then it completely depletes us. We don't know how to say no. We don't know how to do boundaries, because we know what it's like to not have someone else, and so we overdo it. So that is another one that's so big, knowing when your cup is not full, because if your cup isn't full, you can't help anybody else. You have to go within and be able to say, what's going on with me? What is coming up for me? What do I need to purge? What do I need to release? We need to stop running from ourselves. We need to stop going to outside sources in order to find answers when the answers are always inside of you. We are just not used to taking that time to care about ourselves in that way. We have accepted what society has said and we've just left it alone. But anyone that has traveled to third world countries, anyone that's been out of this toxic industry that we are in, has seen that the fundamentals of quality living is healthy, free water and drinking water every day. Not this crap, this caffeine, all of these foods are made in a lab and we just accept that, right? We just accept it. We don't question anything. And then you see years from now, people that have diabetes, that have all these sort of illnesses, immune disorders, all of that. It's a mixture of stress, bad food, not taking care of ourselves, ignoring this internal system and internal dialogue that can talk to you, but we don't hear it because we are so programmed to the matrix. We have to show up 100% all the time, right? Or else we're not worthy. We have to release these limiting beliefs and we have to start taking care of ourselves the way that we'd want to be taken care of by somebody else that we loved. That starts with realizing that everything that you intake matters. I'm talking about music. I'm talking about television. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about the people you surround yourself with. I want you to think about the people you surround yourself with especially. Do they have a negative mindset? Do they complain often? Because that is contagious. And similar to that, a little bit. You can, again, with the things that I'm saying, it's not that you have to cut them all out entirely. It's that treat it more like ice cream. You wouldn't eat ice cream 3 times a week or 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, evening, because you know that would make you sick, right? But the world convinced us that these foods made in labs are healthy for us, and so we believe that, we eat that crap. This is why we don't feel good. This is why we feel bogged down. This is why we don't get ahead on where we want to go. We also get easily addicted to social media, any form of that dopamine hit that we feel like we need, because we don't know how to get that dopamine on our own, because we are living in the age of technology, and you can get dopamine within 10 seconds. We have lost the ability to connect to ourselves. We have lost the ability to come home to ourselves, to love and honor ourselves, to see ourselves as sacred. And that is the biggest problem that we are seeing. I see a lot of people that are very empathic, but they think that they're mentally ill, and the reason is they're very sensitive and they didn't figure out how to have those walls and those boundaries, and so they develop addiction problems and they run away from their stuff. And I hate seeing that, because it's always the most sensitive, beautiful souls that either don't make it past 30, or they don't live up to their true potential because they don't believe that it's possible. We've already kind of been set up to fail. So it's really this attitude of shifting to what makes sense for our body, what makes sense for us now in this moment in time, and owning it and sticking to it and seeing the results, so that your mind, body, brain, spirit, whatever, can go, oh, yeah, she was right. It's been over 7 days. I feel so much better. We don't like new. We don't like change. And so we avoid it. And if we keep avoiding it, then essentially we're avoiding ourselves and our growth. So if you want to feel better, inside, outside, all of the above, mind, body, spirit, not just, powering through life and being exhausted and trying to use your 8 hours of sleep to just kind of reignite when you barely can reignite. And we're in this intense Aries energy right now, but even still, when we're not in an intense energy like that, you have retrogrades where we have to go inwards. You have full moons where we're getting overstimulated, because we are empathic, and that is okay. We are different. So because we're different, we need these tools in order to better our lives. That's guided protection meditation, so that we can handle the energies of other people. That is really caring about what we put into our bodies. And I know that sounds lame, but believe me, healthy food also tastes good, and there is healthy junk food as well. Trust me, I found it, I bought it. So you can do it that way as well. But if you are constantly putting in, you're buying 3 coffees a day, and you're eating nothing but processed foods, and you're smoking weed all the time, 111 on the clock, and listen, hey, 420 friendly here, but again, even I had to catch myself. When you are going to other sources to feel happy, then you have to ask yourself, why aren't you happy in the first place? Because if you come home to yourself, you're going to feel a lot better drinking nothing but water, because you know that it's flushing all the toxins and chemicals out of you. If you come home to yourself, you're going to know that being alone is better than being with somebody just to have a presence in your life, because you've done the inner work to go, toxic isn't better than being alone. Or, someone who doesn't understand me, being around to hold space is not better than being alone. We run from ourselves so much more than any other group, because we are so sensitive and people don't understand where we're coming from, and we feel a lot of shame from that. But in reality, if you want to feel better, it's coming back home to yourself. It's going back to the roots. It's going into nature and sitting in the grass and grounding. This isn't woo-woo stuff. Where do you think our ancestors, what do you think they did? Do you think they were just like, oh, guess we can't live. We don't have processed foods, and we don't have anything but this land. We're so screwed. You know what I mean? We've lost sight of what matters. And this is why our bodies feel sick. This is why we always deal with diseases and immuno disorders. I don't have that, but we deal with these things, and we think that there's something wrong with us, but it's everything that we're intaking. Our air is not even healthy. Our water isn't healthy. You have to get a filter for your own freaking house water. I need you to think about this, the seriousness of this, because if you want to feel better, then you have to go, oh, hey, they're not taking care of us the way they say they are. They're just trying to make a profit. And the moment we go, I'm going to prioritize myself, my needs, my values, We're going to stop eating the shit that they give us that's like dollar menu crap that's not even real food. We're going to start implementing fruits, vegetables. I know, I felt the ick when I said vegetables. That's so funny. So tell me if you got the ick when I said that, because I heard that. I felt it. But I get it, and you'll get used to it. Start looking for non-GMO foods, organic foods. Start eating living foods, you know? Salad's not that bad, guys. Salad can be really good depending on what you throw into it. But you are a temple that needs to be taken care of with kindness and love and gentle. You're different. You're different, okay? You're not like everybody else. And instead of suffering, take the leap and go inward. And if that makes you look like a weird hippie woo-woo, whatever, who cares? Do you want to feel better, or do you want people to think you're doing good? Because most of the time, if you're trying to get other people to think you're doing good, it's because you're not doing good. When you're doing good, you don't give a shit what other people think. I want you to think about a time you felt good. Did you really honestly care what anybody had to say? Probably not, right? We have this idea that we need to conform and fit in. But in reality, the more that we break away from that, the more we're going to find the people that are just like us. There are tons of people on this planet wearing a mask. And we need to start being honest with ourselves and realize what our needs and wants are and where we want to move forward. It is a very scary time in history, and I understand that. But there is a reason that we have an intuition. There's a reason that our heart aches for things that we can't understand, that our brain doesn't get. Our brain is merely the accumulation of everything we've experienced up until this point. It is not aware of what's to come. It doesn't like new because it can't process new. So you in your head going, I don't want to switch to just water and vegetables, and that sounds awful, non-GMO. That is the world that has been telling you through the news, through the commercials, that you're better off eating McDonald's, that you're better off eating food that will never ever do anything but give you disease, that will stock up fat into your stomach. And then when you go to exercise, you're like, why can't I lose weight? Because of the crap we're putting into our bodies. You have to realize that you matter. You are that important. There is a double win in this. You take care of your body, you will take care of your mental health as well. They go together. When you feel good inside of yourself, you feel good, period. And then nobody can take that away from you. So do the work. And I know it's uncomfortable. It's always uncomfortable at first. Believe me, I did not want to give up soda. I sure as shit didn't want to give up chips, but I found non-GMO chips and I was okay. So do the work and put that effort that you tend to always put into other people, put that into yourself. It takes 21 days to make a habit. So give it 21 days and do what I'm saying. Limit your screen time in terms of social media, because you're an empath. You're going to pick up on everybody, and especially on Facebook, that is a toxic place to be. So get an app that just tells you maybe you're online too much. It's a lot to take in, and then you wonder why you feel sick. You're taking on the energy of so many other people. That's the problem. We don't release it. We don't do the meditation, because then we go, I can't meditate. My head goes blah, blah, blah. My head did that too. I'm a Gemini moon. I talk, I think, and I analyze. That's who I am. But it takes 21 days to make something a habit. And just like the rest of your life, of the habits that you've had up until this point, the only reason they're habits is because of consistency. And if you change your pattern, then that will be your new pattern. That will be your new consistency. But it all starts with you, your wants, your needs, and your decision to choose yourself over choosing mediocrity, over choosing being uncomfortable, over choosing everybody but yourself. It all starts with you. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. But quick recap, it matters what you put into your body. And I mean that on all forms: music, social media, TV, food, water, all of it. Getting out into nature is so essential for empaths to ground, to feel better within their skin. I'm telling you, give it 30 minutes just laying in the grass, especially if you have a panic attack. Go out into the grass, give it 20, 30 minutes, you will feel 100% better. There is a reason that our ancestors could easily live off the land. It's because we were always meant to. Come back home to yourself. Come back home to what it is you need. Be honest with yourself. Make the hard decisions. Cut out the toxic crap that you no longer need, or make it something that's more of an occasion versus an everyday constant. Treat it like ice cream, and find a healthy balance that works for you. Because in the end, if you don't do this, you're going to consistently feel that anxiety, that energy of the ick, that feeling of being like pulled on energetically. It's a lot right now. The energy's intense. So take care of yourselves, be kind to yourself, and be kind to one another. I'm going to leave it at that. As always, I will see you guys in another video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.